Scholastic Audio presents Freedom Swimmer by Wai Chim. Read by Telly Leung. The boy's awkward jump must have knocked him unconscious. He was a dead weight. With one arm wrapped around him and the other stroking steadily, I did my best to keep his head above the waves. My legs burned from the inside out, but I kept pushing toward the shore. Ming reached us just as my feet found solid ground, and he wrapped his arms around the boy's legs. He was shorter up close and actually quite young, probably in his mid-teens. His skin was smooth, his body lean but not muscular, unlike the local youths. Together, we managed to carry the body and stumble back to the beach. We collapsed in a wet heap, and I checked the boy's pulse. It was light, but present, and I put my ear against his chest and heard short, ragged breathing. I pounded his back once, twice, until a plume of water shot out of his mouth and dribbled out the sides. He coughed then, hacking and gasping. He tried to speak, and I bent closer to him. "Did I make it? Am I in Hong Kong?" His whisper was barely audible. When I looked back at his face, he'd passed out again. "We'd better get him to the nurse." Ming was already on his feet, dragging the boy by the armpits. I grasped him by the ankles and tried to stand, but my tired legs gave out under me and I collapsed. Finally, I got to my feet and we struggled through the village with our load. By the time we left the boy with Nurse C and headed back to the dormitory, I was completely recovered. "We saved a boy, Ming. We saved a comrade's life. What a glorious feat!" I was bursting with excitement. Ming was more subdued. "It was too dangerous. You could have died." "Are you kidding me?" I was beaming from ear to ear. "I feel amazing. I bet I could swim 30 li in the Yangtze River, just like Chairman Mao." I struck a gallant pose, waving to an imaginary crowd, like the newspaper photograph of the chairman, clad in a simple robe after emerging from his historic 10-mile swim. Ming stayed silent. I was still full of energy when we returned to the dormitory, eager to recount our heroic tale to our comrades. "Ming and I saw someone jump into the ocean," I said. "He jumped off the rocks and I had to swim out to save him." Tien frowned. "Impossible. Who's stupid enough to go swimming in winter?" The comment stung, but I ignored my pride. "Tell them, Ming." "It was a boy," he said quietly, "but I don't think he was a villager." "Who was he? What was he doing out there?" Kam Shui and Ajun were both fascinated, but the village boys were quiet. "That was the craziest part. He said he was—" But I was cut off by a sharp nudge from Ming. He was just going for a swim," Ming said hastily. Tien lifted an eyebrow. "Going for a swim? Are you sure?" But he wasn't talking to me. He kept his gaze on Ming, coaching him with his eyes. I opened my mouth to protest, but then I saw Ming's face. His lip was quivering, his eyes big and round. He didn't say anything. Tien turned to me, his eyes narrowed. "Where'd you pull him out from?" he asked. "Just down by the water, off the cliffs," I said evenly. Tien nodded and turned to the group. "Probably just a suicide then." "A suicide?" I arched my brows. I hadn't thought that for an instant and was just about to say so. "Yeah, it was probably just a suicide." Ming's voice was so timid, I hardly recognized it. I thought of protesting again, but Ming was now watching me with pleading eyes. He was scared. It was only then that I remembered what Ming had told me about his father. Was this what the boy was actually doing? Was he trying to escape to Hong Kong? Even though I wanted to argue, I felt sorry for my friend, so I relented. "Fine," I said. "I guess we just rescued a suicide jumper." I snatched my book of quotations and tried to read, but the words blurred together as I went over the rescue again and again in my head. The rest of the evening was spent in tense silence. The next evening, I collected a letter from home. There was a shiftiness in Hong Bing's eyes when he handed me the thin envelope, bumpy along the edges, like it had been opened and resealed. "What's this?" I demanded, but Hong Bing said nothing. Back at the dormitory, I stuck my thumb under the edge, and the flap gave straight away. Someone had opened my letter, and not even bothered to cover their tracks. I felt a chill as I unfolded the sheet of paper and recognized my mother's minuscule handwriting. My dearest eldest son, tragedy has befallen our family. Your father has been taken away. The guards came in, ransacked our books, destroyed our home, overturned everything. They confiscated some papers that your father had tucked away in a gap in the wall. I never knew they were there or what they were even about, and they took him away. They won't tell me anything, only that he has been sent to a prison camp in the southern region. They will not divulge his crimes or the charges against him, only that he must be suitably admonished for his reactionary thinking. I am beside myself, a prisoner in my own house. I cannot go outside, for the neighbors whisper and cast judging glances. The shopkeepers won't serve me, and I hate to send Zhe in my place. Your sister cannot show her face in the youth league, and your brother still has no gainful employment. He will never find a job with this black mark on his record. Your father's actions have destroyed our family and cursed the Li name. My son, my heart aches for you to return home. You are fulfilling a duty to our great country, but it comes at the cost of your duty to your family. I shed a mother's bitter tears and wail for your return to care for your siblings. Your heart-hurting Mama. My heart stopped. My mind blanked. A cold nothingness settled over me. There was no going back. Our family was doomed.